Welcome back to Sawyer's Farm. I'm Jacob. Today we're going to be showing you some new additions to the farm, and one of them is we got a new buck, a new Kiko buck. So kind of a little bit of a backstory is we had a buck that we were actually we traded Keeping It Dutch, YouTube channel Keeping It Dutch. Y'all know him. He had a buck, and we watched his videos, and we really liked the way his buck looked, and he was big, and so we asked him what he was doing with the buck, and so he wasn't really going to do a whole lot. I think he was going to process it, and so we asked him if we could trade bucks. We had a buck that we could trade because we're actually making him a breeder. He's going to be a second buck to our other one we have. So we got our buck, went over to his house, and we switched him out, and then now he's over here. We got him in this pen right now just because we kind of want to try to keep him as much as we can away from our other herd, just because it's a new animal. Not saying that Dutch doesn't take care of his goats or anything, but it's always a good practice when you get new animals, regardless of how well they were kept, because not everyone knows exactly what's going on with the goat. We like to keep them in a different pen for a week or two just to kind of make sure nothing crazy happens, or if they do have some type of disease, we may be able to see it, and it's not completely off into the whole other herd. So, and that's with any animals, chickens, rabbits, cattle. You always want to kind of segregate them in the beginning when you first get them. So we'll kind of just show you a little bit of our new buck, and we're just really excited on getting him, and him one day being a breeder. He's young. I believe he was kind of probably born around I think it was January-ish, probably a little bit before that, so he's still pretty young. But he really looks like, it's kind of weird because of our other buck, he really looks like our other buck, like not identical, but we'll try to put a picture, a little video of our other buck in there, and you can kind of tell that he almost looks like that could be his son. It's kind of weird, and we're kind of glad because we really like our other buck. So we're over here in our other goat pen right now. We got the kids, and we got our male buck here. As you can tell, like I said, he looks pretty close to our other buck over there. But one thing I kind of wanted to explain is some people might ask, why are you getting two bucks? Like, what's the purpose of that? You got one, isn't that good enough? And it is. We really like this buck. He's very calm-natured, and we haven't had any issues of him being aggressive or anything like that. He doesn't jump fences. Our last buck, we had a beautiful Kiko buck last time, but he was like a deer and jumped any fence we stuck him in, and we didn't like that. This one is good to go. We really like him. He's registered 100%. He did a buck test. He placed very well in it. So we really want to keep him for a very long time, but we are trying to grow our herd bigger. We want our herd to get bigger, and instead of going out and buying special type Kikos and bringing them over, we're going to be keeping these kids right here back. Now, we can't breed them, or we don't want to breed them together. So we're using that buck to breed to these ones when they're of age, and these kids will be able to be bred back to him, and they won't have any relation. So that's kind of what we're kind of doing, is using that to kind of build our herd, and so we don't have to keep swapping out bucks all the time, every year getting a different buck. So that's kind of how we're doing it, and so that's why we have the two bucks. And it's also very good to have two bucks because if this one for whatever reason dies, something happens, we got a backup one, vice versa, and so we'll always have a buck just in case something happens. So that's the reason kind of why we got the two bucks, and we really like it because they almost look the same, and so we're really curious on how he's going to look whenever he gets older, but that's the reason. All right, so you can see we got a new rooster. We're just getting all new kind of males here on the farm. So the new rooster is a blue-laced red Wyandotte rooster, and we got him because we only have one rooster and we like to have two. Same reason why we like to have two bucks. So we can have fertile eggs and we can start hatching them, because we're really wanting to start hatching their eggs. But we have him, and we have one of the same breed hens over in one of these tractors over here. And we kind of had a little bit of a devastation here just a little bit ago, not too long ago. If y'all remember those black copper Morans and the other chickens that we hatched out and we were raising up, and they were just about to start laying eggs, we were about to start bringing them over here with the big herd. They all got taken. All of them, there was 15 chickens total, and all of them are gone except for 4. And it was crazy. Like we had them over there, kind of where that the buck was, as you saw. That's where we've had them. That's where we've had our chickens for years now, and never had any issues. And what happened was some coons came in, and that's the only thing I can think of. We have a picture. I put a camera out, and I got pictures of multiple coons coming in all throughout the night, and I think they took them all. We found one that the breasts were eaten out and the head was gone, and they took 11 of them, and just overnight. It was crazy. We never had something like that happen before. So that's it's very unfortunate, because we spent money and a good amount of time. It's not even so much the money, it's just the time that we had in those chickens. And those were the breed that we were really excited about, because we were going to start hatching purebred black copper Morans, and that's one of Alex's favorites. She really wanted that, and so we aren't going to be able to do that right now. But so that's one reason why we have the rest of them over here, to keep them over here, because they're a little bit safer here. But we will have something in the works here to make sure that doesn't happen again. I'm going to leave you a little bit on a cliffhanger, but we'll show you later on exactly what we're going to do to mitigate that. But it's just kind of sucks just having that kind of devastation happen, especially just right overnight, and all the time and work that we did with those chickens. But we still have all of our main flock here, and we're going to try to bring them back up. These aren't too old, so they're still laying eggs pretty good. But yeah, and the one reason why we have them in this run, we free range our chickens. I got the fence fixed up over there. The reason why they're in here now is just because we just put the rooster in, and we want to make sure he knows that this is where he comes back at night. So just for a few more days, we're gonna just keep him in this run, and then we'll let him back out, and so he knows to come back in. Everyone else knows, but not him. And one thing that's very nice is the roosters are getting along. We put them in there. We have not seen them fight at all, or even try to fight. So we're really happy about that, because then we can keep kind of a bigger herd here and not have to worry about the roosters fighting. Because our other roosters was not the same. They were about to fight to the death, so we had to separate them. But that's kind of what we got going on over here with the chickens. So I wanted to say a special thank you to Corporal Miller for the hats you sent me. Really appreciate it, old Vietnam vet. So we just wanted to wrap this video up, just kind of show you what was going on, the new animals we're getting on the farm, and just how we're going to kind of mitigate that issue over there in the other pasture. But guys, if you really like this video, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. You got any questions about stuff, the goats and the chickens, on how we're going to do something, leave it down in the comments. Hit that bell for notifications if y'all are interested, in our channel. That notifies you of new videos coming out, so you can see them when they first come out, and you can be the first ones to comment. But we really appreciate all the comments we get. I always like putting out videos, and then I just get to see all the comments and people, and just what people think about the video. So we really like the comments. But guys, take care and God bless.